welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to discuss Navy boot camp. This will be an in-depth video of my experience in Navy boot camp. So if that's something you are interested in watching, then stay tuned. So these are my notes from when I went to boot camp. Disclaimer, I went to boot camp May 2018, but nothing has changed except for the fact that we are in the middle of a pandemic. All right, so first of all, we are going to start with the DEP process. Well, personally for me, I was in the DEP program for about 3 months. And DEP stands for Delayed Entry Program. So basically, the Cliff Notes version of that is just like a holding, if you will, before you get shipped off to boot camp. So I was there for 3 months. While I was there, I was to report to my recruiter. My recruiting station was in Portsmouth, Virginia. So I reported there, I want to say twice a month or maybe once a month, and it was just me checking in with my recruiter, just basically saying, hey, I'm still interested. We would do workouts, we would review like basic general orders and just little things like that, and she would just ask me, you know, has anything changed? That was pretty much that. After being in the program for about 3 months, I got a call. I was supposed to leave in August. That was my initial ship date. And I got a call asking if I wanted to leave in May. And I made some arrangements with my personal life because I do have a child and I do work full time. And I was able to do that. So I ended up leaving in May. And personally, just a little side note, this is just my personal experience. First of all, when I joined, I was 26, and leaving in May was probably the best decision for me personally, because leaving in August is almost a guarantee that I would have been around a lot of younger people that were shipping out, simply because, you know, they graduate in June and, you know, that whole process. So June, July, August, those summer months, I'm just assuming that that's when a lot of younger people are going to be in your division or whatever. I said that to say, in boot camp, you will see if you're getting ready to ship out, once you get there, it's one team, one fight. One person messes up, then you get beat. And I'll talk about what it means to get beat, not literally, but yeah, you get beat, and it just sucks. So my division was great. I feel like we had a great mixture of, you know, the youngest person in my division was 18, but then I think the oldest gentleman was like 35 or something like that. So I think we had like a really good division. That was division 937, and I'll talk about that too, what it means to be in a 900 division. Okay, so next, what to pack, what to study, all that stuff. I'm gonna do in a separate video, I think, because I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna do that in a separate video because it's just a lot, and I really want to get into this. I really want to get into the boot camp details. So, all right. So leaving, what's gonna happen is when it's time for you to leave, you're gonna leave from Meps. So I left from it's like Northern Virginia. I want to say Richmond. We left from that Meps. From there, you know, you go to Meps one last time. I don't think I signed paperwork that day, but I did get a packet. Now that packet will follow you from the Meps station all the way to boot camp. So please keep up with that packet, and you really need that. So don't be in such a rush that you leave it in the hotel or you leave it in the back of the little cubby in your, you know, when you get on your flight. In the back seat holder thingy. Yeah, don't leave it there. Don't leave it in the restroom. Like, keep up with it. Like, keep it on your person. Once you leave Meps, you are also going to get a voucher, and I think it does not exceed $25, but it's enough to get you food in the airport. And please eat, because that's probably going to be your last, I'm not going to say good meal, because to me personally, the food in boot camp was not bad. But it's not gonna be like, you're not gonna be able to eat it like Chili's or something like that. So eat at your last favorite restaurant while you're in the airport, and get you a little something while you're in the USO, and just relax and just get your last little breather before you go to boot camp, girl. So once you arrive in the actual airport in Chicago, O'Hare, in the airport, there's a USO on the second floor. You're gonna meet upstairs on the second floor, and then from there, there's going to be like some petty officers or maybe chiefs, but I'm pretty sure they're petty officers, and they're going to direct you and tell you where to go from there. You're gonna meet downstairs. There was a petty officer in the USO, and he was pretty much asking, does anyone know how to sing? Does anyone know how to play any musical instruments? Anyone ever been in ROTC? And da-da-da-da. And I automatically knew from watching other YouTube videos that this was an indicator that he was asking, hey, who wants to be in a 900 division? And me, I wanted to be in a 900 division. I already knew that before I left, because I wanted to sing in the choir, and just because of what I heard about being in a 900 division. I'm not gonna say it was easier, it wasn't, but it was a little bit different, simply because on Saturdays when everyone else did, honestly, I don't know what everyone else does in a different division on a Saturday, but for us, it was going to the drill deck, to the drill hall. And we will be practicing whether you are in the choir, whether you are a part of the like the structure or like cleanup crew, or if you're doing the flags or whatever your role is, that was your job on Saturdays. So I knew I wanted to be in a 900 division, so I was like, me. So I signed a little paper. I'm pretty sure he marked an X on my right hand, and then that was that. So next, you're going to go downstairs. Like I said before, you're gonna go downstairs, and from there, it kind of pretty much starts, because they're gonna be seeing who pays attention. They're gonna tell you something very simple, which is have your folder. You know that folder that I told you to keep up with? They're gonna instruct you to have that in one hand. Let's just say your left hand. So they're gonna say your folder in your left hand and your belongings in your right hand. Simple, right? No. I don't know if it's people's nerves or what it is, but people were messing up already from the jump. Like they were already, you know, not even in a single file line, and it's very frustrating to have to be yelled at because the other people in the line aren't falling in line. And it just, from there, it just hit me. Like I was like, Jade, here we go. Okay, so next you are going to board a bus. It's like a charter style bus, and you're going to ride to boot camp. And I don't know, like I was fine. You listen to this little video while you're driving there, and it just gives you like the do's and don'ts, what to expect type thing, and they tell you to pay attention and stay up, don't use your phone type of thing. And then once you get there, the bus stops. Well, first of all, let me back it up a little bit. You're going to see the little gates that say, RTC, and that's when you like kind of a little frog in your throat, because you're like, okay, well, this bus is not going back to the airport, so here we go. And that's when it starts. Now, I have watched other videos where they say, they didn't yell at us off the bus and we got to get off calmly. Yeah, no, somebody came on the bus and they were yelling, and it was just like, go, get your stuff, let's go, everyone, hurry up, single file out, everyone fall out. And I was like, yeah, that's basically when it all started or whatever. So yeah. Okay, so next you're going to go inside. You're going to go through like a metal detector, and they're going to tell you to remove your outer garments. So if you're wearing a coat or a sweater or whatever like that, you're going to take that off and, put everything down. Then that's when you make your first phone call. Now, please tell whoever your first phone call is going to be, please tell them to basically stand by, because the worst feeling ever is to make your first phone call and the person don't pick up. You get one phone call, and I'm not playing, like they are watching, and listen, make your one phone call, and that's basically to say, hi, I've arrived, I'm safe, I love you, bye. That's it, like seriously. So make sure, Mom, Dad, Babe, Pastor Jenkins, I'm gonna be calling you around 1800, 1900. Please stand by. Like, make sure your person is there, because you don't want to leave a voicemail or whatever. And please make sure you have a phone too, because the last thing you want to do is not have a phone, and then you gotta wait for your another recruit to have their phone available and use their phone. And it's just, and meanwhile, while they're doing that, is the petty officers and chiefs and stuff, they're yelling at you, and it's just very, very fast paced. So just to alleviate all that, I try to make things, keep it simple, okay? I'm gonna have my phone, make sure it's charged, I'm gonna be ready. I already know my person, I'm calling them, and that's that. Keep it simple, okay? Oh, and side note, when you are going in, because you're going to be in such a tizzy because they're telling you to rush, and let me tell you something about hurry up and wait. That is what you do in boot camp. You hurry up and get this one place, and then you sit in there waiting. But don't be in such a tizzy that when you walk into the building that you step on those flags. Please do not step on the flags, okay? Watch where you're going, okay? Move with a purpose, but don't step on the flags. Okay, so then after that, that's kind of when the organized chaos starts, if you will, because they're going to begin separating you from, remember when I told you I had that little X on my wrist? Then we kind of we went into like a little separate line. That's when I kind of started to figure out like they're pretty much picking the divisions, and it was very, very much so random. Unless you had an X on your wrist, you were supposed to go to this side of the wall, but everyone else was kind of like, it was like wherever you stand, like that's the division you're in. Then after that, you go and you get issued like what you're gonna have to wear the rest of the time. So the females get separated, and so we went into this room and we got like this box, and we went pretty much like in a merry-go-round around this room that had, this section here. They had the swimsuits that you're gonna be wearing, and then they had the underwear, and then the your bras, and your PT gear and your shorts. And yeah, you pretty much once you got all of your things and you got right back in front of your box, then you removed all of your outer garments and everything you had on, all of your civvies, and you then put on your Navy issued, skivvies, bra, shirt, and shorts, and you were officially looking like everybody else. Like, yeah. And then you put all of your belongings into the box, including your phone, because that box then got shipped back home. Now, on that note, that might be one slight difference as to what they're doing now, but then again, I'm not sure, but that's what we did. And then also we went into a separate room where we got our tennis shoes, aka your Go Fasters, which they're pretty much like some New Balance shoes, and it's like 3 different styles, and it's based off of your feet. Okay, then after that, you're going to go to like a commissary pop-up shop type thing. I'm trying to explain the best way I can and give you all a visual, because it's going to be like little toiletries and stuff set up for you to grab for what you're going to need there if you didn't already bring stuff. Which, side note, that's going to be in my other video for things to bring. But I will say, if you have little things, bring them. Like I had a very little small bag of makeup that I knew I was going to try and throw on for graduation. So I had that. I had some basic toiletries, but they issue you a Eagles card, I believe, and it had like a certain amount of money on there. But also, again, another thing to bring is just a small amount of like petty cash, maybe like $30 in cash, because you're gonna need that not only in the airport, but you're just gonna need it when you eventually go to the little next on base with your division. Okay, so then next begins your all-nighter, I'll basically say, because from the time you arrive to boot camp for the next 48 to maybe 36 hours, I don't even remember, I feel like it was 48 hours, we were up. Like we did not sleep. They had us doing a bunch of stuff to keep us up, which later made sense, because if you think about it, people are coming, like I just was thinking only about myself. Like I'm coming from Virginia, but people were coming from Virginia, New York, Texas, Montana, California, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and all those different areas are on different time zones. And it makes sense to kind of let everyone stay up and get accustomed to being on the same sleep pattern and stuff like that. And also, I'm pretty sure it was some type of, let's weed out who's the strongest, who can stay up type thing, and stuff like that. It's a method to the madness, definitely. Also, on that note, if you wanted to get a haircut as a female, you could, and males, you're getting a haircut. Okay, so next we're going to talk about P days. P days is basically processing days, and that's pretty much where you get just checked in and you handle all of your medical, your dental, any type of legal stuff that you have to, like if you come in with like a child or something like that, if you're married, you get everything situated and you get all of your benefits and your direct deposit. And side note, that's another thing I would bring is a direct deposit form. I mean, it's good to have the information written down, but if you have the actual direct deposit form, and honestly, if you already bank with Navy Federal, that's something that I would do too prior to going. I already banked with Navy Federal, so it was easier for me. I just gave them my little slip and I'm like, okay. So also when you're in P days, basically because you're still getting cleared for medical purposes, they can't really punish you in a physical way as far as like getting beat is concerned, making you like work out and I mean you're still gonna work out, you're still gonna do like your basic PT, but they can't make you, they can't hit you with an orange card and make you do like 10 counts and air chairs and and arm circle. They can't make you do all of the extra stuff just yet. So while you're in P days, you will be stenciling, which basically is like you're gonna stencil everything. And when I say stencil everything, I literally mean like you're gonna stencil your skivvies, your bra, you're gonna stencil everything except for your socks, basically, okay? Like even what I have on right now, this is stencil because I still have my my same uniform, because why not? It still looks good, it's not dingy or anything like that. I just joined, so yeah, everything is stencil, everything. Also, while you're in P days, you are going to get assigned leadership roles. They will be temporary because while you're in P days, you're not assigned your official RDCs, but your like temporary RDCs will kind of try and seek those that want to do leadership roles. And the first two roles that need to be filled are RPOC and AROC. Those two roles need to be filled because those two individuals will pretty much lead your division from start to finish. So those, I mean, as far as leadership roles go, looking back, I didn't want to do anything. Like, I didn't want to do any type of leadership role. And I think in the end, I got assigned I got voluntold to be the dental yeoman. But I just did not want to do anything. But looking back, if I could pick any role, because again, so you have RPOC, AROC, MA, you have your yeoman and your medical yeoman, there's a dental yeoman, there's your laundry PO, there's the ASMO PO, and then there's the education PO, there's the head PO, and then there's the religious PO. So there's a lot of roles to be assigned, but looking back, if I could have chosen anything, it would have been the MA. No, like RPOC and AROC were cool only because of singing cadence. Like that's the only reason why I want to do that. But other than that, like when a division messes up, like you get the beating for it. And again, that one team, one fight, just... So another thing, so while you're in P days, you will be staying in the Pearl. Yes, the infamous Pearl. And the only thing, that I really liked about staying in the Pearl was you had those individual showers versus when we got to our actual ship, it was like, basically for visual purposes, it's going to be like a large cylinder pole with a lot of spigots. It's going to be like I want to say like 8 different shower heads, and you just kind of stand there. I'm gonna see if I can maybe insert a picture like right here or something. But yeah, you shower with everyone, and that's another thing. Our MA, like she kept us in line with the time. Like, okay, next person in and out, and that's another thing. Maybe I'll make a separate video on that. But I don't know. Showering was not, with a bunch of females, I didn't even think twice about it, because the more you think about it, the less time you get in the shower, and you do not have all day to take a shower. You don't have 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes overall to like hygiene, but that's going to consist of everyone getting in. And then once you get out, you have to clean. And by clean, they don't give you like Clorox wipes and like bleach or nothing like that. Like, no, they give you this this cleaning solution, but you have to use like paper towels with that. And you get sponges, and I don't know, it's just very different from what you're used to at home. So, and yeah, and it was another thing I wasn't used to was I'm just used to when I take a shower, you know, you just turn your shower water off and you let the water go, and no. When you shower from day one to when you graduate, like basically the shower, the bathrooms need to look as if no one has used them. Like get every little drip of water. Like they don't want to see anything. There shouldn't be any lint on the floor. It's just very particular, very meticulous. Like the Navy is very specific, and they groom you to, like, it's like attention to detail basically. So okay, so going to medical is just going to consist of, for women, you're going to have a wellness exam. So if you're due for a PAP, you're going to get a PAP. You're going to have a vision screening. You will eventually go to dental, where if you need any type of dental work, whether it be a root canal, to a cleaning, to a fill, to getting your wisdom teeth pulled, which I got my wisdom teeth pulled, and I will talk about that as well. You will get that done. And so speaking on getting your wisdom teeth pulled, I had already gotten one wisdom tooth pulled prior to joining the Navy, just because it was really irritating me and it was due to come out. But you know how they say, like, the you can, like, survive and live with your wisdom teeth, so I left the other 3 in. But when I got to boot camp, they were like, they're coming out, sis. And I was like, But luckily I had already gotten one pulled, so I kind of knew what to expect as far as pain was concerned. But I was under anesthesia because I was at my civilian dentist, and in boot camp, you get local, like, numbing. I don't really know what it is, but I know I was not under because they just did not do that for me. If you needed extensive dental work, I'm pretty sure you got, actually no, I guarantee you got anesthesia, because there were people that were SIQ, which SIQ is sick in quarters. They were sick in quarters for a longer time, but for me, I got my 3 wisdom teeth pulled, and I was SIQ for, I think, 2 days. And it was cool because while I was SIQ, I didn't get to get beat with everyone else. I kind of got to relax and just kind of sleep in my bed and rest. And I tried to rest as much as possible, because I knew once my little dental chip, that I knew once it expired, I was not gonna be SIQ anymore, and I was gonna be eligible to, you know, be yelled at and all of that stuff. So I got as much rest as possible, because you do so much in boot camp that when it's time for lights out and you say your evening prayers with your division, it's just, listen, out. I'm out. Like, I'm just not playing about my sleep. I'm out. I'm not up talking to nobody. The most I will do, I did write letters. Now, I did write letters at night, but once I'm done doing that, I'm out. I'm out like a light. So once you're done with processing days, you are going to eventually go to your ship. Now, again, being as though I was in a 900 division, I was in ship 2. Now, ship 2, I soon learned, is not as far as the other ships, like ship 12, ship 13. Like, those are a lot further from the Pearl. Again, you're going to march from the Pearl to your ship. And when I say ship, it's not an actual ship, it's just a building, but it's referred to as a ship. So we marched with all of our items that we were issued, from our shoes to our uniform to but everything that we had to march with that to ship 2 in our little rucksacks, which I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So this is what you're going to march with on your back to your ship. So you're gonna march from the Pearl to your ship with this on your back. In addition to this, you are going to have your book bag. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like too. Okay, so just to give you a visual, this is what you're gonna look like marching from the Pearl to your ship. Now, this is light because I don't have all my items in there, but just imagine you have all your stuff in here. Your book bag is full of stuff. And by the way, when you're marching, you know, you're supposed to march. Oh gosh, march. Practice marching before you get there, because you'll be surprised how many people don't know how to march. It's like, marching is simply walking to a cadence. That's all it is. But people, like, we got beat because of people not knowing how to march, and people, when someone is off in front of you, then it throws the person off behind. It's like a domino effect, and then you're stepping on people's heels, and then people getting mad, and then there's all this chatter, and then it's like, who's talking information, and then you're halting, and then it's hot as I don't know what outside. You know, Chicago is I don't know. I'm pretty sure there are other hotter areas like Texas, but Chicago is hot. And you're doing all of this and you're frustrated, you just want to get to your ship, you're musty, you're hot, you're sweaty. Let me give you another visual. This is what you have on. Your recruit hat, ignore all the signatures. I got my division to sign my hat, like a little yearbook style type thing. You're gonna have this on, you're gonna be so tired. By the time you finally get to your ship, you're just gonna be so relieved. You're just gonna want to hygiene and, you know, go to sleep, but that's not what's gonna happen. But anyway, this is what you're gonna look like, okay? Just to give you a visual. Okay, and one more thing, when you, like during P-Days, you're gonna have like your money and your ID and like your social in this little sock, and you're gonna wear it and tuck it in your pants like this. So just always make sure you keep this on your person and just have it at all times. Don't lose it. Please don't lose this. This is like important. This, again, these are all little, I know this looks so silly. Like you wearing a sock and you got your ID in there, but everyone's gonna do it. Everyone's gonna look silly. Keep up with it. This is a lesson because, you know, you're gonna have to be held accountable once you get to the fleet. Everything, again, it's a rhyme and a reason for everything. So keep up with your stuff. And also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but when you're in P-Days and even still when you get to your actual ship, you're going to also, in addition to stenciling, you're going to go over basic fold and stow. So how to fold your items, like your skivvies and your bra, and how to place them in your rack. Oh, and also how to make your rack, which is your bed, how to make your bed, how to, you know, yeah, basically like how to make your bed and how to like fold, and you're gonna use a little knife hand and tuck the sheets and get everything nice and crisp and looking all good. I still, even to this day, I still fold my my sheets the way I learned in boot camp because it just looks nice. And I don't fold my regular clothes the way I did in boot camp, but like my Navy stuff, I still fold it and I have it looking all neat. Like this shirt is like a little rectangle in my drawer because I don't know, it just looks nice that way to me. I just keep everything the same. Okay, so after medical and all that fun stuff comes the time for you to take your baseline PFA, which consists of the infamous run. You are going to do your 1.5 mile run. You're going to do your sit-ups and push-ups. And yeah, just gonna let them know, let your RDCs know where you are as far as fitness is concerned. And it's gonna let you know where you are and your where you need to improve at. So one thing I did not know, and luckily I passed, I didn't know that the baseline PFA, the run, if you fail, you get ASMO, which ASMO basically means, I don't know the actual definition, but it basically means you get set back in training. So every week is going to be, you know, week 1, week 2, week 3, but the day is going to let you know, like, so for example, it's going to be like week 1, tack 2. So that's week 1, day 2, like that or whatever. It gets a little confusing when you try to factor in P-Days, but that's basically what it means when you look on your little whiteboard in your ship, because the whiteboard gives you the agenda of what to do, of what to expect for the month. And I always look at the whiteboard because I'm such a planner. So I'm like, what are we doing today? What are we doing tomorrow? When's this? When's that? So yeah. So I didn't know that the baseline PFA was a pass or ASMO if you fail. And luckily I made it I just barely made it. On that note, I will say before you go, please work out. Even if that's used doing a little jog, like do something. You have to be in some type of a shape. You can't expect them to get you where you need to be at in a short 8 weeks if you're not working out at all. And that really meant Like I could definitely see where I was, being as though I was 26. So it had been a while since I've been out of high school, you know, getting like your typical, you know, PE, physical education in. Like it had been several years since I've been out of high school. So I really had to make sure that while I was in the DEP program, and even before that, I was making sure I was doing some type of physical activity. So yeah, and it sucked because in my division, like a lot of people, mainly female, a lot of females got set back in training because they didn't pass. And it was unfortunate because, again, maybe they just didn't know. I definitely did not know that that was a pass or a fail type thing. I thought it was just an assessment to see where you were. So, you know, take it serious and don't walk. Even if you're doing, you know, that fast walk that you see those old ladies do in the mall, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you hitting one of those, you gotta do something. Do not walk, okay? Don't walk. And also, the PFA will be held in Freedom Hall. And Freedom Hall is just a very large gym, and it's large enough to, you know, because at the time when you're doing your PFA, there's other divisions that are in there that are going to go after you. So it's very large, big enough for you to do your run, your sit-ups, your push-ups, all of that. And even towards the end of boot camp, when you do, when you go up against the other divisions, that's held in there too. When, you know, the little fitness competition part, that was so much fun. So I like that.